It's usually how everything else is for a Realty One Group. Go into your one login, whether it be you have it as a toolbar option or if you just log in via the website, the web page, and then you'll see here it's Move Easy Move Management. And so here it gives you to your admin page profile. This is where I was just at on the other tab. But essentially, if this is your first time logging in, it might have these logos for you. I'm just going to go through the process like this was my first time logging in as an agent. So it pulls in information from standard Realty One Group, which you see here. It has the standard Realty One Group logo without the summit. So I would go in and you would go in and you would upload the one that says summit. It does have my headshot, which it pulls from my zone profile. So that's good there. And then I'll just double check information. See the Realty One Group, Summit. And you get the gist of it. You have your social medias and all that, and your DRE number, which I don't, but you would put that in there. You can click update profile, and that way, when it has your branding on it, it has all the up-to-date information. So we get into the moving concierge, and I'm going to pretend what I'm going to do here is kind of run through like I had a client that is closing a transaction. Normally, what would take place is you would have your transaction uploaded into SkySlope, and what Move Easy does, since it's partnered and it knows the SkySlope system, it actually takes into consideration, or it'll notice when your transaction goes pending. And when it does that, it'll send you a email and your client an email automatically inviting them to the Move Easy Concierge service. Now, before it invites your client, it does send you an email prior, and you can decide whether to, if you actually don't want Move Easy to email them. So you do have that option right there. But for the most part, it's all automatic with your branding, with the Realty One Group branding. So even if you didn't do anything, you totally forgot about it, your client would get it and be like, oh, they're thinking of me, they're doing all this for me. So it's a win-win either way. But today I'm going to be showing you how to actually invite manually. So this is going to be for people that probably want a little more hands-on approach, or if it's not on SkySlope for whatever reason, this is where you would come in right here. So as you can see, there's invite new client. You can have it right here. It says buyer, first name, last name. I already submitted a test or an example client because Move Easy does ask that it takes around 48 hours at most to send that invite out and pull information. Mine came within the first day, but I already had that done prior, so we'll just leave this blank for now. Just imagine this, but oh, here I got the tabs right here. So yeah, Johnny Boy, email, right there. You put their phone number. This is their move date, which is actually going to be pretty important. When it comes to the transaction in SkySlope, it automatically uses the end of transaction date for that information. But if you're going to be putting the move date here manually, you could probably do that as well. If you don't know, what's good though is that your clients, once they get the invite, they'll be able to change the moving date time or the move-in date time on their own. So that way they can get an appropriate response for concierge services. So if you do send this out to your client and they're using this service, just make sure you let them know about the move-in date and how important it is, and just to double check that that is the correct move-in date. Source address. This would be, for example, you're coming here from Camarillo and you're moving to Prescott, Arizona. If you're a buyer's agent and you don't know the home address, you can leave that blank and then put in the destination address, and vice versa. If you're a selling agent and you don't know the buyer's address, you can leave that blank and just put in the destination, or vice versa. You can leave either one blank and it'll work. Email subject, it automatically provides some verbiage for you, which is right here. You can go ahead and change that as you want. You can also automatically have this templated email changed in the settings, so you don't have to come in here and do it every time. So it's right here, standard HTML editor. You can have hyperlinks, pictures, what have you, what name you. Kind of like the Sync website and kind of like the Gmail HTML editor. So if you're familiar with that, you can come in here and play with that and change it up. So now we're going to get into, we're going to pretend that we sent the invite, and now it's going to our client, and they'll be getting that here. And I'll actually run through the client side of things in just a bit. I just want to make sure I go through all this here for the admin. Over here on my vendors, you can actually, if you have vendors that you've used in the past, you can add them in here. You know, you can add, say, it's going to be an accountant, an air duct cleaner. You know, look at all these. The drop-down menu is pretty huge, and it's going to be, you want to make sure you put them in this, because when concierge service recommends vendors to your clients, it's going to have separate tabs or sections for its recommendations and your recommendations. So, you know, you have quite a selection of choices here for your recommended vendors, whether it be moving companies, pest inspectors, alarm security, appraisers, automotive repair, elder care, elevator. You know, it goes on, just to make sure that you have the proper sorting there. So we'll just say this is, actually, do I have, let me see. Is there real estate here? That would be funny. No, not real estate. Hopefully they call you, right? We'll just say seller renovations right there. Email, same thing. Put in the contact information for the vendors. You would have it all right there. Website, logos, and you'd add vendor, and then you'd be set. You also do have the option to upload vendor from like a CVS file if you've had that before, which is here, right here, or you can download the template and plug them in yourself if you have a whole bunch instead of adding them one by one. With the add vendor button, you can do it by file instead. You can view your vendors. So if you have a selection of them and you want to double check what they look like, you can see them right here. This is actually what your client is going to look like too. It's going to be similar in this fashion. So you see your mortgage, title companies, home inspectors, attorneys. The list goes on and on and on and on. And it does have that Realty ONE Group branding. So you have the gold there, what's kind of faded. And the top here, the gold and the fonts and appropriate branding. So you go to my custom checklist. This is also something your clients will see and you have the ability to edit. They're going to get this like once a week once they finish moving in and before, depending on how it all goes in and how vast your checklist is. But you'll see here there is, you know, water and snacks for moving day, sort your belongings, make a list of documents 7 weeks before, 6 weeks before they move. So you're going to get that option right there.
And I bet you that what's his name?
You get that option right there. And then you have the ability to add your own checklist. Sorry, I have a couple agents coming right now. Add your own checklist to it. If maybe you caught something during the transaction that they asked to be reminded of, you can add it right here. And this is the checklist, and they're going to get access to that. You also have the option to find utility providers. This one is going to be if you have it. Mainly, it's a little tricky on your side of things if your client's moving out of state and you don't know much of the utilities out there. You might not want to recommend companies that you don't know off the top of your head that do a good job. But they do have the option to, or concierge service will actually go ahead and find accredited Better Business Bureau utility services for your clients, and we'll run through that here in a bit, so you don't have to worry about that. We go here, let's see, I think we got here, analytics. Let's see. Okay, missed transactions. If you missed anything, it'll be listed right there. So it's kind of like your hub dashboard. Here you have your profile, like we mentioned earlier, your account settings, and you have analytics to see who's opened it and who's clicked and who's bounced. So you can see here, I made a fake email address and I did it wrong on Friday, which it bounced back to me. So you can actually see if you got the right email address, and then I provided the correct one, and then it went through. And it gives you all that information right there. Like I clicked on it, and then that's as far as I went. So, and we have the support center. The support center does have training videos, kind of going over everything I've mentioned and in more detail. It's all right here, located right there. And you also have documents for it as well. So that's pretty much the admin side of things. If you have any questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat there. But if not, I'll go ahead and move it to the client side of things and what that looks like for the client. So here is the email that gets sent to your client when they get invited to the concierge service. So here it says here, hi Johnny, welcome to your personal relocation assistant provided for free by Realty ONE Group. Blah, blah, blah. Now you get ready to start it. What's included, moving services, even concierge, free change of address for mailing, which is pretty big, access to trusted home pros, weekly checklist like we described. And the best part about this is it's all free. It's all free for you. It's all free for your clients. It's no cost to them. So this is what it looks like. It kind of gives them a rundown of the whole workflow for this. It gives you the double checking on the information. I'm moving from Camarillo to Prescott, Arizona, and my move-in date is this week on Friday. If they wanted to change it, you see it right there. They can change it themselves. So let's get started. So we can go ahead and see what service do we need help with. Well, maybe we'll go ahead and just click most of them here. You may not do yourself. We'll go utilities, personal movers. Let's go UPS mail, home pros. I'm gonna ship my car. I'm gonna be driving it. We'll do some self-storage there too. Let's say we do have children, we have pets. Let's click both of those, and we have the cars. Boom, boom. Make my account. Let that load. I'm gonna need my phone number in there. Yeah. Okay. So now my client, your client is essentially created an account with the Move Easy service. You see, this is what they're going to look like. So he has your branding up here, the logo, your profile picture, your name, and your phone number here. Quickly, a workflow of the moving service, update address, utility providers, and the cable. Everything I've selected is up here on the top. Days you're moving in, 2 days. It gives them a little rundown. This is pretty cool. So if your client gets this, it kind of, you know, for me, and what I like about it, it looks extremely professional. It's like it truly is a service, and you're going above and beyond for your clients. So we have must-do tasks. So this is why it's selling us overdue. It's like, hey, you're moving in 2 days, and you need help moving service, and you haven't selected anybody yet. And then we have everything else that comes in priority. But pretty much this is flashing this kind of code red saying you need to get this done right now. Of course, when this does take place, when the client goes pending, they have much more time. But here you can see where it kind of gives them the highlighted message. And you can automatically see where it's recommending moving companies. Even though I didn't put any recommended vendors myself. Like I mentioned earlier, the concierge service goes ahead and scouts like it's one of the top threes on the Better Business Bureau that do the moving company that do the moving that you're going to need, or your client's going to need. Like for example, this is across state lines. It has those right there. But we'll go ahead and go through the tabs here one by one. So I go through moving service. How big is my move? We'll just say this is a 3-bedroom house. There we go. So now it's going to say choose your movers. These are verified by Move Easy. You see here that they have also the Better Business Bureau rating and Yelp, and then you have Google reviews as well. That's all right here. So it looks like we'll just go ahead with Agassi's Moving Company. So that one is looking good. You can schedule the appointment, or you can select all 3, just in case you want to see everyone else's availability as well. And you'll schedule that. Then Move Easy will go ahead and bring up that information for you. Let's see here. Where we go here. Yeah, it's going to get that for you. It's going to go ahead and reach out to them and get back to you. I won't submit it, obviously, because I don't want to mess them up here. This is just a fake address, an example. So we'll pretend like we got that here. Then we actually have the option for more movers if there is selected. Here we go. So I click on more movers at the bottom, and we do have much more selection for you. So now we're going to get on to the next tab, the next tile. This is going to be the update your address. So this is going to be how your clients go ahead and forward their mail and then change it. Realty, this concierge service does provide that service to them for free again. So you have the current home, future address. When do you want to start forwarding? When do you want to start changing it? It's all right there. And they can submit it as well. I want to know how much utilities might cost. Okay, let's do this. Now we're going on to utility providers. So this is going to be the current providers here in Camarillo, and this is going to be future providers. APS, that is correct. So I'm from Prescott. We did have APS. All this is correct. Unisource Energy Services, correct as well. Water division, garbage division, all right there. Have access to their phone numbers and their websites. So you can check it out for yourself. That was interesting. It brought up Edison. Oh, you know what? I wonder, how's it doing it? Okay, that's Prescott. Did I click on the right one? APS. brought up Edison. That's funny how it's working. But it did get up Unisource from over there. Let's see if it brings up City of Prescott. Okay, no, not those either. So it's a broken link. So I'll reach out to. It's probably not concierge service. It's honestly, I can the way I've been from Prescott, so I can tell you right now, it's probably on their end, because they're kind of slow on the uptake compared to California. How everything is up to date. But yeah, you get the gist. It's right there. Internet and cable, same thing. It's going to show you your providers. It's going to go ahead and schedule a time for you and get that arranged, or you can go ahead and look at the providers here at the bottom and do it yourself at your convenience. Trusted pros. This is going to be exactly what I mentioned earlier about if you had like recommended vendors, like your mortgage, title companies, insurance, home inspectors. Since we don't have any, it's going to go ahead and say, please call us. Concierge will go ahead and reach out to you. And what it means by that is this Move Easy concierge service does have a rep for your client. So once your client calls them or notifies them, he's actually going to go ahead and reach out to your clients and get some information and then go ahead and find some reputable vendors that can match your client's needs. So they take care of all that for you. Driver's license, you also do have this tab for your driver's license. Find your DMV, where you're going to need. It'll cost this much of estimates. So again, these are things that people typically forget once they move, and you can have this information like the checklist almost just to ensure them how it takes place. Now it is a little difficult here, actually for the COVID-19 situation. I actually needed to update my license, and I went last Friday, and I went to Thousand Oaks, and I pulled into the driveway, the parking lot, and there was like a mob of people outside in 97-degree weather, and I said, no, not today. I will figure that out another time. So the sooner they get this done and the information, probably the better. And then we also have other resources, which would be deals, which if they have any, they'll provide them right there. So then we go back into the dashboard. Again, we covered every one of these topics. There should be a checklist here somewhere, or the checklist actually comes to them in their mailing address. And I think if I click this, let's see. Oh yeah, my moving checklist, here it is. Okay, so if you didn't see that right here on the dashboard, there is this spot task list. Click that and you have all your checklists right here. Start your belongings, get moving quotes, decide how you plan to move. So this is like, obviously, of course, a long process. That's why it's saying everything is overdue, essential and overdue. But it's cool that it does give them a time frame and kind of a flow of how things happen. I know as agents, you guys do that for you in buying consultations as well. But you know how there's 1,000,001 moving parts to a transaction. So just having a physical thing they can look at for checklists can be that much of a stress relief and provide service for your clients that they might need. And then you have, their options right here as well. So that's pretty much a summary of the concierge service and what it does for you admin wise and what it provides for your clients. Obviously here I had selected these tabs up here, but I wonder if I go back to my email here, get started. Automatically bring me to my dashboard. But as we saw originally, they can have a much more in-depth service to them depending on what they click of the utilities and services they need. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and type them in chat, or we don't have much people on, so of course, as always, you can speak up, and then if I can answer them, I will answer them.
Looks good.
Awesome.
Thanks.
And again, this is being recorded, so I'll upload it into our Facebook and our YouTube page. And like I mentioned earlier, they do have their own training videos, which go much more in depth. The good thing is with all questions and the partnerships that Realty ONE Group has with these companies is they're tied into the help desk. And the help desk is usually very, very, very quick and responsive for any questions. And they'll be able to kind of get anything